Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Simple Health, birth control that fits your lifestyle. Simple Health is simple. You go online, you fill out a health profile, which will then be reviewed by a physician to see if birth control is a good fit for you. Recommendations will be made, prescriptions will be written, and if you have health insurance, it will most likely be covered. If not, prescriptions start at $15 a month. The prescription will ship free to your doorstep. There's no need to even step foot out of your house. You don't have to wait in lines at the pharmacy. You don't even have to go to the doctor's office. Although it should be noted that Simple Health is not a replacement for routine checkups with your doctor. So that's Simple Health in a nutshell. This would have been so great for me as a recent graduate from college. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. This is such a great tool to make big decisions that could affect the rest of your life. After graduating school, I didn't have a college clinic to go to. I didn't necessarily know where I was going to be. I was moving. Everything was in flux. But if I had had Simple Health at the time, that would have been such a great solution. I could have quickly changed my address and had my prescription come to my doorstep at my new address. There's no need to find a new clinic, no need to find a new doctor in your new location or start a new account at a pharmacy. You just change your address online. So simple and easy. Follow Simple Health on Instagram to receive the latest news on reproductive health. Big thanks to Simple Health for sponsoring this video and for their continued support. If you'd like to try Simple Health out for free, click the link down below or head over to simplehealth.com/Emmy or use my code Emmy at checkout. Big thanks to Simple Health for sponsoring this video and for their continued support. Today I'm going to be making pan de muerto, which is the bread of Día de Muertos, the Day of the Dead celebration in Mexico, and it is a beautiful day. Originally it was celebrated in summer to celebrate our departed loved ones and family members. It's a day to celebrate their memory and to bring offerings to their spirits. So pan de muerto, or bread of the dead, is a sweetened, enriched bread. It has a round bowl shape, and on the top it has a cross of dough that looks like bones with a little round top, which some say signify tears, others say skulls, and it is just a charming little bowl of bread, and it is often dusted with sugar, and it is sometimes flavored with anise or orange water or orange zest. So my recipe is going to be adapted from Jaja Cocina Mexicana, a beautiful channel here on YouTube. I will put a link down below to their channel. Wonderful, wonderful, delectable sounding recipes, including pan de muerto. So let's go ahead and get started. I've already washed my oranges and we need the zest, which is just the orange part of the orange. I've got 4 cups or 500 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna just dump that right onto my countertop. We're gonna make a well, kind of like we're making pasta. 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. We're going to add 8 grams or 3 teaspoons of instant yeast right to the middle. This is different than Jeanette's recipe. Jeanette uses dry active yeast and she creates a sponge, but since we're using instant yeast, there's no need to rehydrate this. We're just going to add it directly into the dry ingredients. It's important to know what kind of yeast you have because depending on the type, you're going to use more or less of it. To that, we're going to add 1/2 cup of whole milk, and this is at 95 degrees, just kind of warm. And then we're going to start adding our eggs. We have 3 egg yolks and 3 whole eggs. So add those in there. So gradually mix this in. This is delightful. So while researching a recipe for pan de muerto, I stumbled upon a great baking channel that's based in Mexico, and I'll put a link down below. And I don't know the gentleman's name, but he makes these large batches of bread completely by hand. He does use a scale, and he has a mixer behind him, but I've yet to see a video where he uses it. And he has so much energy, and he makes bread with such facility. You know he's been doing it for years. The channel name is Pandiera Guadalupana. I'm not getting it quite right, but I will put a link down below to the channel. Just inspiring, and just go see it. That's another reason why I wanted to make this bread by hand, was watching recipes on his channel. Jeanette says this is going to be a very wet dough, as many enriched bread doughs are. So don't be tempted to start adding a lot of flour to this, otherwise your bread will be very dry. We need to give the flour some time to absorb all of the liquid and for the gluten to develop, which is the protein in the flour. And then we're also going to add butter to this. So this is going to be a rich dough indeed. This would be so much fun to do with the kids. Kids love to get messy. Kids just love to help you. So if you involve them in your chores and your tasks and your jobs, they will be so happy to help. Because in the end, they just want to spend time with you. That's what it comes down to. I'm going to be using my bench scraper here. I like this plastic one. It's flexible. So it's good at getting all the bits off of the countertop. I'm going to go ahead and add my orange zest. And now we're just going to work that orange zest into, oh my gosh, look at that color. Oh, it's so beautiful. Probably a good idea to make sure that your countertops are nice and clean before you do this. The last time I made a sweet and rich bread, actually I did that one by hand too, was in my pandesal video. I'll put a link down below to that. I made an ube one and just the plain one, and that comes from the Philippines. So this is a good workout. Now that we've got this dough in this form, we're going to add slowly our butter, our mantequilla. This is 150 grams, and we're just going to knead this in. And knead it 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 until the dough is no longer sticky and it passes the window pane test. The dough, when it's stretched, light passes through it. And I'm here with my dough, and I kneaded it on the counter for a half an hour, and it was still a sticky mess. I did start to see the gluten start to form, but then I placed it into my mixer, and it's still pretty sticky, but I'm trying to avoid adding any extra flour because I don't want a dry bread. But I might need to. We'll just have to see. Need to. Get it? Need to. Lightly oil my bowl. We're going to cover that up, and now we're going to place this in a warm spot and let it rise for an hour to 2 hours, depending on the temperature of your room, or until this doubles in size. Alrighty, my lovelies, I am back, and here is my dough. I let it rest for coming on 2 hours now, and it did not puff up as much as doughs that I have worked with in the past. This has me a bit concerned. I did knead this for a very long time. Perhaps that's why my dough did not rise as much as it normally does. I'm still gonna roll with it because at this point I've made the dough and I really want this to turn out. But sometimes just wishing something into fruition isn't enough. But I'm gonna go ahead and forge onward and see what we can do. So I'm gonna cut this into 4 pieces, and we're gonna reserve one of these for the decorations on top. Isn't that amazing? The dough is not sticky at all now. Amazing. So now we're just gonna tuck the dough under, and we're gonna make a ball and place them onto a parchment-lined baking pan. So we're gonna add a bit of more flour because we want this dough to be a little bit firmer. So I'm adding about a little less than 1/4 cup, just a couple tablespoons of additional flour, because Jeanette says we want this dough to be a bit firmer, so it's a bit easier to shape, and so it stands up on top of our bread. I'm gonna cut this into thirds, 1 for each of our breads. Let's take one of those thirds and cut a small piece off. So we're just making a little ball just like we did before, tucking all the ends under. And with the other piece, I'm gonna cut it in half, shape it into a cylinder, and this is gonna represent the bones. Jeanette says you can do this one technique where you roll one finger, kind of break it in half, and then take your 2 other fingers in flour and roll them like this. Dona Angela does this. She takes her fingers and she spreads them apart like this, and she just rolls them like this to get those sections, like that. Now we're gonna take a little bit of water on a pastry brush, and we're gonna make a cross. The water is gonna help the dough pieces stick. Lift our pieces and put them across the bread, and then across this way. Place this one right on top. Look how stinking cute that is. I love it. So, So cute. So now we're going to cover this and let it rise again for about 45 minutes, and then we're going to place it into a preheated 340-degree oven and bake it for 25 to 30 minutes until everything is golden. Alrighty, my beautiful lovelies, my bread has come out of the oven and it turned out great. Look how stinking cute these are. I'm so pleased with how my little breads turned out. Next, we're going to take some melted butter and we're going to brush our breads. Look at that shine. And this is going to be the glue for the sugar. Adhere all of that beautiful sweetness to the bread. Yay, it's like snow. It smells so good, buttery, sugary, and orangey. I can't wait to have it. Okay, first I'm just gonna cut it right in half, see what it looks like inside. Oh, look at that color. Look how yellow it is, and that's because we have 3 egg yolks in addition to 3 whole eggs in there. And we can see little flecks of orange in there from all that orange zest. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Buen provecho. That is so lovely. The top has a little bit of that granulated sugar on top, so you get that nice little crunch. But the crumb of the bread is so tender and soft. It's moist, it's rich, it's just very lightly sweetened, and it's just kissed with this beautiful scent of orange. It is so lovely. It reminds me of brioche. It's got that buttery richness and that egginess, but it doesn't taste eggy at all. It's lovely. And this is coming from a person that doesn't usually like citrus in my dessert. This is lovely. Thank you so much for watching, and big thanks to Simple Health for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to try Simple Health out for free, click the link down below or head over to simplehealth.com/Emmy or use my code Emmy at checkout. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo. Take care. Bye.